Count me in from 5. Pretty interesting.
It is quite a scene in Pasadena, California here as the Georgia Bulldogs have arrived for the very first time at Rose Bowl Stadium, where in just a moment one of the official events of the week will take place as Georgia gets ready for its team picture here to commemorate their trip to the Rose Bowl for the first time since 1942. Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon Adams for DawgNation.com. We continue our coverage of the Rose Bowl from Pasadena this week, and unbelievable backdrop here for college football that Pasadena, California will provide for tomorrow's game. The weather today, absolutely beautiful, high 70s, if not a breeze. The San Gabriel Mountains in the background, clear, sunny skies, and hard to believe it's late December on the eve of early January here in California, because the downtown L.A., about 20 or 30 minutes ago, it was greeted here at the parking lot at the Rose Bowl by a collection of at least several hundred fans. You can even hear some of those roars continuing right here, if not a couple thousand Georgia fans on hand here to say hello to their team. And you see on the risers there, Georgia starting to get in place for a team picture. You see Walter Grant moving over to the right side. A lot of Georgia coaches and staff getting in line here. I see Richard LeCount, Nate McBride getting ready to walk up to the risers there. Andrew Thomas, a collection of the Georgia freshmen. There's DeAndre Swift, the running back. Cheering for these young men as they get ready to take their spot here and celebrate something that will probably be hanging in the Butts-Mehre Heritage Hall for many years to come. A Rose Bowl, maybe a spot in the College Football Playoff National Championship game on the line. It's all out in front of the Georgia Bulldogs here. It's a week that anyone associated with the program probably won't be able to forget, and the folks certainly enjoying it here are soaking in the same way. I see Julian Rochester. I see Jacob Eason getting ready to step up onto the risers. A lot of folks having a really good time with this. In the comment section, Loretta Mitchell says, "Go Dogs." Tim Wilkes says, "Love my dogs." Shelby Hill McDonald says, "Go Dogs." Matt Tommy paying attention to Notori Johnson and Isaiah Wilson, Justin Schaefer. Some of the offensive linemen who've redshirted here during their true freshman season, expecting to be on the field for next season. Yeah, they have a chance to be big-time performers in the years ahead. I see DeMarcus Hayes, another guy taking a redshirt season this year. He'll have a chance to contribute next season. A lot of cheers going out. There's McCole Hardman walking up. Dedrick Frazier says, "I'm here in Savannah and dying to see of the It almost reminds you of the Little League picture you would have taken when you were a kid, your youth league team. This is a team picture very much like that. Just a lot larger collection of folks involved with it. Isaac Nada, the tight end, has found his spot on the risers here. I see Dell McGee, Shane Beamer in place. Georgia taking in the sights and sounds of Pasadena, California. Kind of an unusual scene. When we arrived here about an hour or so ago, there were already seemingly several thousand people on hand. Some of it Oklahoma fans to greet their team, a lot of it Georgia fans who are calling the Dogs even as we speak, and some local Pasadena residents just enjoying a beautiful sunny Sunday here in Southern California. Bobby Kennedy says, "Let's go, Dogs. It's time to eat. We're hungry." Adam Speiler says, "We're going to rock the Rose Bowl off the hinges tomorrow. Dawg Nation's going to be loud." Yeah, Dawg Nation already loud and proud and celebrating their team's arrival here in Pasadena. Maybe some of the folks who are here are folks who are actually staying in Pasadena. As you see, a few more Georgia Bulldogs starting to take their place in the risers in the front on a temporary bleacher in front of the risers themselves. You see Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, coming over. You see Javon Wims. There's Jet Blazevich. Brian Harrion. There's Lorenzo Carter. You see Roquan Smith and Sony Michel. Nick Chubb. It'll be Sony, Roquan, and Nick Chubb, along with Isaiah Wynn, gathering around on both sides of Kirby Smart, who takes his position right there in the middle. Obviously understand the symbolic significance of Sony, Roquan, and Chubb, Wynn, guys that have been such big leaders for this Georgia team all season long. That's why they're in the position they are. Now the instructions will go out for what the picture is going to be like, what it's going to look like. Lynn George Harbin in the comment section says, "Go Dogs, bring home a win and some of that warm weather." Yeah, I know. I've heard from a lot of folks around DawgNation, especially those in the state of Georgia. They'd love nothing more than to be enjoying what the folks out in California are enjoying, which is a beautiful, beautiful week. I mean, pristine weather. You could not ask for more. They say Chamber of Commerce weather. That's maybe a cliche, but in this case, a lot of fans of Southern California have been born out of the weather they've experienced here this week. So you see Georgia in position. Jonathan Ledbetter, as he has all week long, been wearing those gold-rimmed spectacles, looking quite the professorial look from Mr. Ledbetter. Melinda Moe says everything's coming up roses with the rose emojis. And, yeah, we've seen a lot of the famous Rose Bowl logo out here in Pasadena here today. And, you know, it feels like almost like you're inside of television. You know, an image that all of us have watched on TV for so much during our lives. Iconic may be a phrase that's overused in sports from time to time. But in this case, iconic's probably not too strong of a word to use. It is one of the most recognizable backdrops in all of sports. And tomorrow it'll be home for Georgia and Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl and a chance at the college football playoff national championship after that. Chris Little says it's cold back in Georgia. Chris, I don't know what this sunshine does for you, if it makes you jealous, if it makes you feel a little warmer, but you can certainly enjoy that. And we'll give you a chance to see what the sunshine looks like here. We appreciate that. Jennifer Edwards says, "Love these kids so much. Go Dogs. I'm just so proud of them." Gregory Wilson says it looks about the same as it is here in Melbourne, Florida. So, Gregory, you're certainly in a good to be checking in from a warm weather locale today. I've seen, in weather maps that's cold in most of the country, except, I guess, pretty much Southern California and South Florida, the best I can tell. Love the comment from Melissa Duke Knight, who says, "Man, this just gives me chills. I love them Dogs." And, Melissa, I will admit, I had a similar experience as well. First of all, this is the stately image of the Bulldogs all sitting at attention, ready for this photo. But also when they arrived, and you heard really for the first time this week, Georgia fans cheering their team. When Georgia has traveled to its practices and traveled to its events like the Beef Bowl and the trip to Disneyland, a lot of Georgia fans weren't able to be a part of that yet. They just weren't in town yet. We are now here on Sunday, the day before the game. There are thousands and thousands of Georgia fans already in town. So this was maybe the first time this weekend you've heard a big eruption from Georgia fans, but a chance to see Georgia. And one of the first times this week we've actually seen Georgia in its game uniform as well. So I think a lot of Georgia fans would agree as they rub their eyes, the sunshine very much in their face right now. Obviously, this sun perfectly overhead here as it is really approaching the 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time or Western time, Pacific time hour in California. But that puts the sun right in the eyes of many of these players. Makes for a good photograph, but maybe a little bit of an uncomfortable position for the eyes. But giving chills, a lot of Georgia fans will probably agree with that same thing. The Georgia players thought they were through, and then a lot of Georgia staffers jump up to tell them not to move on just yet. Kirby Smart in the middle, kind of barking out some instructions, pointing the direction they're going to go. Players should be now, and you hear the cheers go up. I mean, unbelievable scene in Pasadena in the game. And there are Georgia fans lining Dogs giving you the UGA chance. This is an awe-inspiring moment here, not just for Georgia showing up in Pasadena, but the fans themselves showing up as a way of celebrating what's going to happen with Georgia. If you're curious what Georgia will do next, if they follow the same plan that Oklahoma followed, they will pick up a box lunch and get ready to get on their buses and head back towards downtown Los Angeles. No more officially scheduled events for today for the Dogs, so my guess is they'll probably go under lock and key and maybe a bit of a curfew here with the New Year's Eve night tonight. I'm sure they'll stay far away from that, but get ready to wake up bright and early for a big day back in Pasadena again tomorrow. All right, we're going to get ready to sign off here. Hope you enjoyed a chance to see Georgia as it took its team picture, and here's some of the cheers coming up from Pasadena. Make sure you stick close to the DawgNation Facebook page, just as we have all week long. We got plenty more coverage leading up to kickoff tomorrow. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. Hope you enjoy the game wherever you're watching it from, either here in California or somewhere spread across DawgNation. we'll look forward to speaking to you soon.